Hello children, welcome back. In today's class we will learn about what books and burials tell us. Have you ever been to library? If you visit, you can observe that there will be a cupboard filled with large old volumes. You might think what they are. Some may be very special books of different religion. Some may be written about Vedas. You might have heard about Vedas. They are one of the oldest books in the world. There are four of them: the Rig Veda, the Samaveda, Yajur Veda, and Atharva Veda. The oldest Veda is the Rig Veda, which is composed about 3500 years ago. The Rig Veda includes more than 1,000 hymns called Sukta or well said. These hymns are in praise of various gods and goddesses. Three gods are especially important: Agni, the god of fire; Indra, a warrior god; and Soma, a plant from which a special drink was prepared. These hymns were composed by sages, rishis. Priests taught students to recite and memorize them orally, each syllable, word, and sentence, bit by bit, with great care. Most of the hymns were composed, taught, and learnt by men. A few were composed by women also. The Rig Veda is in Old or Vedic Sanskrit, which is different from the Sanskrit you learn in school these days. Vedas, meaning knowledge, are the oldest text of Hinduism. According to the Puranic tradition, Vedavyasa compiled all the four Vedas along with the Mahabharata and the Puranas. Vyasa then taught the Rig Veda Samhita to Paila, who started the oral tradition. The books we use nowadays are written and printed, but in earlier times the Rig Veda was recited orally and heard rather than read. It was written down several centuries after it was first composed and printed less than 200 years ago. These hymns and texts were then passed on from generation to generation, from teacher to student, by chanting them aloud. Let's learn about Sanskrit and other languages. Sanskrit is part of a family of languages known as Indo-European. Some Indian languages such as Assamese, Gujarati, Hindi, Kashmiri, and Sindhi. Asian languages such as Persian and many European languages such as English, French, German, Greek, Italian, and Spanish belong to this family. They are called a family because they originally had words in common. Example, take the words Matra in Sanskrit, Ma in Hindi, and Mother in English. Do you notice any similarities? Other languages used in our country belong to different families. For instance, those used in the northeast belong to the Tibeto-Burman family. The languages Tamilu, Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam belong to the Dravidian family, and the languages spoken in Jharkhand and parts of central India belong to the Austro-Asiatic family. Now we will learn how historians study the Rig Veda. Historians, like archaeologists, find out about the past in addition to the material remains like coins, bones, pots, etc. They also examine written sources as well. These written sources, most of these were written on palm leaves. Some of the hymns in the Rig Veda are in the form of dialogues. There is a part of one such hymn, a dialogue between a sage named Vishwamitra and two rivers, Bas and Satluj, that they were worshipped as goddesses. Vishwamitra requests the two rivers as, "O sisters, please listen and allow me to pass through the rivers." Historians point out that this hymn was composed in the area where these rivers flow. They also suggest that the sage lived in a society where horses and cows were valued animals. This is why the rivers are compared to horses and cows. There is one of the page from the manuscript of the Rig Veda. The manuscript of Rig Veda was written on birch bark, was found in Kashmir. About 150 years ago, it was used to prepare one of the earliest printed texts of the Rig Veda, as well as an English translation. It is now preserved in a library in Maharashtra, Pune. Cattle and horses and chariots. These are many prayers in the Rig Veda for cattle. There are many prayers for children also, especially for sons and for horses. Horses were yoked to chariots that were used in battles, which were fought to capture cattle. Battles were also fought for land, which was important for pasture land and for growing hardy crops that ripened quickly, such as barley. Some battles were fought for water and to capture people also. Some of the wealth that was obtained was kept by the leaders. Some was given to the priest and the rest was distributed among the people. Some wealth which was gained by the wars was used for the maintenance of yajnas or sacrifices in which offerings were made into fire. These were meant for god and goddesses. Offerings could include ghee, grain, and in some cases they used to sacrifice animals too. Most men took part in these wars. There were no regular army, but there were assemblies where people met and discussed matters of war and peace. They also chose leaders who were often brave and skillful warriors.